Incremental greetings. There's a question that I got many times, and I have seen people asking, that you may have used SuperMemo for a while, then just give up, move on. But then you want to use it again, and perhaps it's been some months, half a year, or some years. And if you really stretch it, like some tutorials I had, that more than a decade later, they want to resume. But at any point, you have this question. Do I restart? I start over from scratch, or I do resume? I continue where I left. So here are my 2 cents, also, depending on the case, because it's not a straight answer, yes or no. Restart or resume. It depends. So in this video, I'm going to share depends on what criteria. I'm a big proponent of resuming, not restarting. So, as much as you could, I suggest to go to resume and continue where you left your collection. Let's start with the opposite, because it's a lot easier. When you should restart the collection, that, okay, just let's pretend nothing happened. So it could be that you may have used SuperMemo for a while, a few months, nothing crazy, and you stop for a school break, or a longer than that. It's 50-50, right? So when you're above this, you have to ask the question, is what I have now in my collection worth it? Do I care of what's my collection? If the answer is yes, being yes or no, in case it's yes, you can resume. In case it's yes, I don't care about this anymore, just delete the collection and start over. As easy as that. I don't know, start your collection. Let's see what pops in your repetitions. And have a feeling. If you get bored, feel free to start over. A different scenario is, wait, I have a decent collection already, a few thousand elements. Then I will say the opposite. Like in law, that the suspect is innocent until proven guilty, so the collection is resumed until proven not worth it, and it's restarted. Suggestion: if that's the case for you, you're not that sure, don't restart, in the sense that just create a new collection. Because if you change your opinion, then you just merge the collections, and that's it. So what you will face are 2 things. The priority queue will be messed up big time, because this is from the past and perhaps absolutely outdated, so you cannot follow much the priority. So what I suggest is either do subsets if you use concepts like I do. For instance, I could do a subset of imports, that is any other thing that doesn't have a category. Or something I did, now it's not in my collection because I have already deleted that. Let's say that now I have moved on completely from chemistry. So I could just do first a subset of chemistry of the items. So I open this, process branch, and learn. And if I don't want to, I will just open this in the browser with space and control. Now filter only items. So I see it as a list. Reduction state of electrons, organic chemistry, skeletal formula, stuff like this. Depends on the size. Here I can decide, okay, I delete the entire thing, or I will keep the items, and I will do a subset of those items. And what I don't remember, I will just press 1 or 2. So I will lapse those, and I will see it again. That's valid. But what about when most of the stuff is reading material? Perhaps in this case, you will need to adjust the sorting criteria. So you get more or less topics depending. You will want more items than topics. because you prioritize what's there already in topics that has been, in this case, I have 1200. I have 1200 outstanding and about 20,000 topics. So I don't want to follow this ratio. I want more items. Then, what may happen is that what you see here, penmanship is it's so boring, right? Because if I follow what's outstanding, I get bored. Like what? Incretins? What is this? I forgot already. Something, depolarization of membrane region by sodium influx. It's chemistry again. Or physiology and so on. So here's something I suggest in this case. Import new stuff. So create a concept. Let's pretend it's imports. And everything that is new from now on goes here. And then what you can do is interleave this new content with content that is outdated in your collection. But you still don't know if it's sure enough to delete or not. Because let's pretend, simplify, that half of this collection is useful today. It's the other half that now is just noise. So what you will do, one of the possibilities is by using one arcane feature in SuperMemo, and it's this. Let's see that I want all of that. So I open all of those branches, and then I filter only what is outstanding. Okay, so I have a subset of the outstanding queue, and I did a multi-selection of the knowledge tree because it's a flat hierarchy. So our solution is to have one folder for the sake to simplify this process. Then it's I want to save this to a file, subset, save to a file, and I will call it old collection. Nice. Then I open the imports. In this case, it's the new stuff. I could just call it new for the sake of the example. Okay. And without filtering, it is now. I want to add something. So I will go to subset, and this intersperse subset. And I select the one I just did. That is the old collection. And I don't want everything in that file. There are many files. There are like 20,000, I think. So here's the ratio of browser subset, what I already have, 6,804, over inserted subset. And it can be from 0 to 1,000. And by default, you have one. Let's go by the default. Now I have 22,000 elements. But I have a mix. Perhaps this is not that intuitive because it's too large, and the new stuff will be less. So let's say that it's just this one. For me, it's a subfolder, but let's pretend that you have only imported this, so it's more makes more sense because you will not import 6,000 new elements. And I will do the same. I don't have to say the file; it's already there. So I go to the subset and intersperse, and select the same one, old collection. And in this case, I will do 100. I still have 15,000. Oh, here it says a number of elements in the file. 15,000 elements. So you know the counts of the subset browser. Here just 153 and 15,000 is a huge mismatch. So here I will put the maximum, 1,000. So feel free to customize this experience. So the idea is the same, to intersperse the subset. So you have something that is new from this folder and something from another place. Perhaps it's too much, no worries. I will do the same, but let's say I only want to start with psychology, that is big enough, and health and well-being. So I will have those two, and I can override this. So now the subset, I will call it the same, all collection. So I'm overriding this. So now I have my new stuff that is here, and I want to add to intersperse the other one, the alt collection. So the idea with this is that I will see, I could micro interleave something new, novel, with something that was already in my collection. Very refined. So every few reps, I see something from the other side. It's either new. If I was doing something new, I see something that is from my alt collection. If I have done something from my alt collection, with a few repetitions, I will see something new. This is gold. If that's your case, you had a collection that was, used for 3 years, then you just moved on for a year or two, and you want to continue. That's one of the best strategies you can use, especially if you want to keep most of what you have done in your collection. And remember, everything I say is just a recommendation. Overall, what is king is pleasure. If you use SuperMemo just for free learning, to learn whatever you want, follow your instinct. If it's boring and it's creating friction, feel free to start over. Not a big deal. Why? Because if you start a new collection, any day you could import it. I could import this collection as a branch. So now I will change my collection to my slides collection. So now here anytime is, you know what? Like for instance, I have done this with another collection that you see here. Is, you know what, now perhaps I have returned to SuperMemo. So I have used SuperMemo for 3 years. I stopped for 2 years. Then I came back for a year, and after a year, you know what? Now I am in the mood to review my alt collection. So I will import it as one with using this. Let's pretend it's this collection. So what I will do on the root element, right click, export transfer elements, and select the other collection, my current collection. So therefore, you don't have to take the decision now. That's the beauty of SuperMemo. It's so incrementally friendly that even most of the decisions you can take are incremental. And I have known people who merge the collection after a while. So there is no correct option. Depends on you. Pleasure is king. What you need to pursue is the land drive. So as long as you achieve this goal, whatever works best for you to restart or resume. Whatever you do, it will do a lot better than just moving on again from SuperMemo and incremental reading with it. So even if it's something small, it's a lot better than nothing. It's a win-win already. Those are my 2 cents. Let me know your opinion, especially if you have done a huge break in between. And see you incrementally.